100 से भी ज्यादा सोच अपनी भाषा में, सिर्फ सोचकास्ट पर। गुजराती, संस्कृत, कन्नड़ा, बंगाली और तमिल में भी। सोचकास्ट, अपनी सोच दुनिया को सुनाओ और सुनो दुनिया की सोच। डाउनलोड कीजिए अभी गूगल प्ले से या सुनिए www.sochcast.com पर।
So we're here to meet this man and this man.
Hello.
He's keeping everything covered. Good idea.
Yeah. He's more sensitive.
Here you go. These are the two boys.
Yeah.
Now, a month next year, it would have been my brother and me for 7 years. Now they are starting their journey together.
Wow, we were just wondering how long has it been for you.
So, well, it's nice to meet you both, finally.
Nice to meet you.
And I'm also recording this to send to Mike.
Mike
Yep.
Kelly? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike.
I
I don't know who the Mike is,
Well-
but the missing link for me.
Well, he's the one that introduced us, so. So good, I'm going to just shoot some B-roll. Now they're in this place, this is their recovery home. The whole family's taken this whole palace. Good idea, because there's so many people.
Yeah.
And
That's my dad
hello Dad,
and my sister.
and you all come from India?
Oh,
Or you live here?
We all live around the country. New Jersey.
Oh,
New
perfect.
Jersey, Dallas. These guys are LA here. We are Seattle. Yeah, it's all over. And my brother is in Austin. He's not here. He's in the other house, my house.
Ah, okay. Hello and welcome to Gola Stories. My name is Anil, and we're on an adventure around the world, driving around and just having a good time. Yes, we have a good time, but we're also purpose driven. And you've heard of these two boys in my posts earlier, and today I have the opportunity to meet with them for the first time. I know their story, but the idea is so people like you also get to know what drove them to become a kidney donor. The two brothers, Sanket and Krish. Sanket is the donor and Krish is the recipient. I'm here to tell their story, so why don't we start having a chit chat. So Sanket, thanks for allowing me into your home, and Krish.
Oh, it's an honor. Thank you
for bringing Sanket into my life.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's
So-
my pleasure too.
So Krish was the first person I started talking with. He was introduced to me by Michael Kelly, someone who was common between us. Michael Kelly is more to me than most people understand, and a professional colleague of his. And he told me, my friend Krish needs some advice, someone to talk to. He needs a kidney donor, and start from there, Krish. How did this whole thing work out?
Must be a while back.
So when I talked to Mike Kelly, or before that, or
Well, just story from that point.
oh yeah, sure. So I mean, at that point, I was kind of just, well, let me backtrack a little bit. I think to structure it. I mean, I was diagnosed with FSGS when I was 24, and I don't know if it is the structure of my body or something internally that happened. Actually, the doctors still don't know that is the cause of this, but the kidney function started declining quite a bit over time. When I first found out at 24, I was like 45 GFR or something like that. That's when I found out, and it was a crazy story. I was applying for life insurance. It's the funniest thing, and they did a blood work and a urine work, and they were like, you might want to check it out with your doctor or something. I was perfectly normal. I mean, I was athletic, person, and so it was just a shock at that time. So it's a little bit of a crazy story.
So you found your GFRs off
Yes.
the roof, trying to look for a life insurance
Yeah, it was
policy.
just a life insurance policy,
And what went into your mind, saying, "Oh, how can this happen to me?"
It was absolutely confusing. I mean, when I first found out, obviously they went through a series of, like when I went to my nephrologist to get it checked out, it went through a series of testing and everything. Yeah, so when it was confirmed I had this FSGS, it was definitely it was like I was going 100 miles an hour in a train, and then all of a sudden just something
Hit a wall.
it was like a wall, and it was very confusing. Actually, for a few months I didn't accept it. Like I literally just did not accept it. I thought the doctors were wrong, because I was perfectly fine. Like I was like, I was hanging out, I was partying, I was doing everything like a normal 24-year-old would do.
When you're young, you feel like you're Superman. And
Yeah,
nothing
you
can
feel like
happen
you're
to you,
Superman,
right?
and I totally felt like that.
Yeah.
And I had a company. I had my first company. I had 100 employees at that time. I was like really on top of everything. But anyways, it took me a few months. I did not do anything. Like I was like refused to talk to anybody. I guess it's like a state of denial. I was like, no, I did not.
Shock.
State of shock. And then I would say over time, I was like, okay, I think I need to take this seriously. I started kind of reaching out, started researching. What is like what is it that I have? Why do I have it? So it took a bit to kind of get into that serious.
I mean, how old are you now?
I'm 37 now. I just turned 37.
Okay, so you've lived with this for quite
I've
a while.
lived it for quite some time. So I'd say like 13 years or so at this point. So I immediately, after getting serious about it, I immediately kind of restricted my diet. I started consulting, obviously my wife did a lot of research too, like to help, more recently. I got married recently, but at that time I was kind of learning about the process and figuring out what I should be eating, drinking. I mean, I stopped drinking basically, things like that. It's been a while since I did all of that. So, but it helped, and I think at that point my doctors gave me two choices. One was the prednisone route, the steroid route, which is a standard treatment procedure for someone with an FSGS, and the other was not prednisone, just kind of some blood pressure medication and some, basic kind of monitoring to see how things were. Ultimately, my dad and I decided to just go with the non-prednisone route, kind of take the risks with that. So over time, like I was on some blood pressure medication, I was on a very strict diet. And I think for me, this is again for me, in my opinion, that was the best decision that I've done, because that really helped me prolong my kidney life as much as I could today. Because literally every doctor I would meet at that time, they would give me a timeline. They'd be like, you have 6 months, you have a year, you have 6 months. Like no doctor
That's disconcerting most times when you have this prognosis of timelines.
Exactly.
In any illness,
insane.
for that matter.
In anything, yeah. So it was not like, every time I did not like going to the nephrologist too, and I've been through a lot of them too.
So when did Mike Kelly come into this?
So Mike, Mike actually came in more recently, I would say, because I was actually looking for a mode of transportation to get my brother coming, over here during the pandemic. That's when Mike came in.
Because he has a private plane?
Yes, he has a private plane. At least he had a whole charter company at that time. So Mike, I know him through some business deals that we had. He invested in my previous startup, and I think I told him about my kidney transplant at that time. I don't remember actually, but he was very aware of what was going on with me, and he definitely was very supportive as well.
Okay.
So we were in communication about it and things like that. And so, and when Mike, heard my kind of my story and what happened, he introduced me to you and your group, and I did a lot of research about basically I went through your YouTube videos and your websites, and I was like, wow, this guy's a fascinating person. So that's why I reached out and wanted to have a chat.
Well, I'm glad. So he reached out, and why did you reach out?
Well, I actually reached out because of what you're doing on the donor side. Because when I was going through my journey, I was very fortunate that I had many of my family members move forward to donate. So my dad, my brother, my cousin, sister, and a few other members, even some friends said, hey, if you need...
Oh, that's nice.
And they even went through the UCLA process. They have like a kind of a thing process.
Testing.
The initial process. They all went through. And some were matched, some were not. But in the case of my brothers, and and my dad, they were very, very close match. So it was super awesome that way. So the reason why I thought about when I looked at you, like I was kind of in my mind, I was thinking about my brother. Like I was like, I don't know what he's going through. You know, I was looking at it like, you know, he's got a lot of decisions to make, and not just him, his family, his
Right.
wife, his kids, the whole. I mean, I'm kind of disrupting his lifestyle for a bit. So I was just very concerned in that sense. So when I saw what you were doing and like you yourself were a donor, it just kind of was like an eye opener. Oh my God, it was like this would be the perfect guy to just seek some advice. And
So
that's how
it was not only him that was a match, we were a match.
Yes, we were a match too.
And
so
then
we
enter
definitely-
Sake.
Yes.
Sanket. What happened in your head when you heard about what happened to your brother?
Oh, it must be 10 years ago. I think 2008 is when I first.
2008, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I broke out.
Yeah, I've never seen him cry. I don't think he ever cried.
I haven't cried. I don't cry.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
My wife says I'm stoned. But when I heard this, it melted my heart. I broke out, and
He's younger?
Yeah.
yeah,
I remember.
I'm the oldest.
Okay.
He's the big brother.
And at that point, like, there's got to be something to be done. I didn't know what could be done.
Now, see, that was
really
2008. Now we're in 2021.
didn't. Yep.
Yeah.
That's a long journey.
It's a
Yeah,
long journey,
it's a long
and,
journey.
and my family has dealt this mentally.
Hang on. So
a lot.
when did you realize, or when did you find out that you actually needed a transplant? At what
Oh,
stage?
It
What
was,
year?
recently.
Well, I always knew I needed a transplant.
It was inevitable.
You
It was
just didn't know
inevitable.
when.
I just didn't know when.
Yeah.
The doctors kept saying it's like imminent, it's 6 months, it's 1 year, but I was able to extend it till now.
And in that time, what was your
Well-
thought process? Did you think that, okay, this is going to happen to me too sometime?
Yeah, but it was too far. I thought we had time, and like, all right, we'll deal with it
Yeah,
when
sounds
it
like my
comes.
story.
And
Yeah.
we always were like, hey, did you try this diet? Did you try
Oh, yeah,
this
we were
medicine?
trying
Did you
different
try
methods.
non-medical, naturotherapy or aromatherapy or homeotherapy?
Have you left no stone unturned?
Yeah,
Yes.
at this point. yeah.
There was a time we were about to send him to China. There was a therapy in China. They're like, come, we will take care of this. We'll heal this. And we,
Yeah.
remember that?
Yeah, it's like,
And yeah,
we were trying everything.
We didn't do it anyway.
no, we didn't.
Okay.
It's
and-
all research, right? It's part of the
It's research.
research, right? And and last year I think his numbers degraded much more than
I think the
expected.
pandemic
fell off
definitely
the
took
cliff.
a
Yeah,
toll.
and fell off, and the reality started hitting us, and that's when I had to come in and I had to step up, and me and my wife were like, hey, your kids are young and we don't know what that means, and I was floating in the ocean with no help, right? Fast forward, and March, April time frame is UK, and
I came into your life, yes.
and
Yeah.
I realized that's exactly what I wanted, because I didn't have anybody around me who has done this.
Did you research online to find any story of any donor and what their life was like?
A little bit.
Did you find anything?
I found here and there, but nothing that I could connect with, and that's when our first conversation. It gave me ability to stand. It gave me ability to be confident that it's not a problem. It's not an issue. It's normal. This is great. It's a good cause. Because all this while like I said, we thought we had time, so we kept on postponing it, and suddenly when it hit us, we were like, oh shit, it's off guard. We're caught off guard. And looking at you and your adventure was extremely motivating. And even today, I tell Krish, I give a lot of credit to you, Anil. Like, you changed
That's-
our
Yeah, actually, he talks about
you
it a lot.
changed my
That's
life.
high praise, man.
No, it is not. I mean, you made it so easy, right? You made my decision crystal clear.
Yeah, he called me the day you guys talked. I guess you guys talked for a bit.
we talked
And
for
he's
an hour
like,
and a
all
half.
right, I'm ready. You tell me when,
Yeah.
what the date, time, location
Oh, that's
is.
nice to know, right?
So that really actually made an impact. You really made an impact.
Great. So we've got something for life between
yeah,
us
yeah,
now,
yeah,
right?
yeah, totally.
Uh, So we've been talking about kidney donor stories, and Sanket and Krish are the stories that we want to tell you in this episode of it. So far you've heard his side of things. This is Krish, the recipient. This is Sanket, his brother, older brother, who's given Krish his kidney. But what happened in Sanket's family life, how things were with his wife, maybe the extended family had things to say. So Sanket, fill in the blanks.
Yeah, wife is a critical role in this whole journey. So she was petrified. She wasn't sure how to deal with it. She hasn't seen or has any friends who've dealt with it. And the only thing that was running in our head was, we wish we had time. We wish we had 1 year, because we had a young baby who was born during pandemic and was barely walking, and we just wanted him to be a little self-sufficient so that my wife can spend more time with me for recovery. And that was her point, is she wanted to help me in this journey.
What about life insurance?
I've not talked, somewhere I read or spoken to someone that I don't need to notify, so I did not actually call them up and tell them anything.
So I actually called them and asked them.
Interesting.
And they said, you've paid your premium for 7 years, so now we'll pay out no matter what.
Oh, no way. Okay.
So
do you advise for future donors to do that?
Well, yeah, it's
It's a dilemma, actually.
It's not so much. It's you have to ask. And if there is a reason they say no, they'll have to give you a good reason why not. Because if the medical fraternity is telling you that you can live with one kidney as a normal human being, which is why they're doing this procedure, then everything in your life needs to accept that, including your insurance. But if their insurance is saying no, it is not, and it's like a precondition, that means it's not fully safe. So they need to figure their stories out and be in sync. Otherwise, we're the ones who are going to suffer.
Yeah.
So this has to be brought. In fact, in India, we had this issue with some donors that were denied medical coverage or life insurance coverage. And I think the present government has decreed that this should not be the case, and they should get their coverage. And I think that's what's working now.
Brilliant.
So yeah, asking the questions is important. But okay, so your wife then said, okay, let's do it. It wasn't that easy. It wasn't that easy for me. So.
No, with wife, yeah, she was in dilemma. I mean,
Did you all
decision. No.
Come on, tell me the truth.
No.
No fights?
Tensions were high, no doubt. Like I said, she couldn't say no, she couldn't say yes, because I think she lacked education. And that's what on the subject, yeah. and believe it or not, we actually sat together and watched that whole video of your journey, Bangalore to Scotland.
Oh, nice.
Midnight from 11 to 1 a.m.
That's a long
Put the young baby to sleep. Yeah, it was long, but it kept us going, right? It kept us going, and at that point we started talking, and you were a live example for me to prove that, this guy's fine, his family is fine, and I had proof.
Yeah, I was your proof.
So I was just building confidence in her. At that point,
everybody needs confidence.
See, after talking to you, my tone changed. My tone changed, saying, I'm doing it. Nobody can stop me. Not even God can stop me now.
Yeah, I was in that situation when I had to deal with this, and I was going to. The only reason she said no was because of the same fears. Of what if something were to happen to me?
Exactly.
So you can't be angry with them either.
No.
So when I was saying, okay, if you in India, the family, the spouse gets the right to decide for consent.
Yes,
and that was her right there.
Yeah. Fortunately, here that's not the case.
Exactly. But
Right,
I was
so-
prepared to take him out of the country if that's what it took. That's what it took to do this. Anyway, so that was almost 7 years ago now, and we have new life stories and examples. And what about the World Transplant Games? Are you guys going to go out there and show them that you can be your best athlete?
You put a seed in our
Yeah,
head, and we got to figure out.
Yeah.
Right now, let us walk and jog outside. That's our goal. That's our Olympic for now.
So how long
But
has it
yeah.
been since your surgery?
28th of July,
Yeah,
which is
7 days.
9 days.
9
Today's
days already?
Friday. Yeah,
Oh,
9
Friday.
days.
9 days.
So this
9 days.
so this is a freshly minted
Yeah.
recipient donor
Yeah.
combination.
Yeah.
9 days ago they had their surgery. It doesn't look like that. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
This is a quick recovery. People, you shouldn't worry about this. It's a major surgery, no doubt.
Yeah.
You have to take the precautions,
Yeah.
no doubt. But what about your life going forward?
I have a fresh perspective of life, and definitely want to advocate. Education is what is missing in people, and which is what Gola and other foundations I started
Right.
to see exist. I definitely want to do my role. I definitely want to educate not just outside. I also want to educate my own family, extended
yeah.
members, and be an example.
Well, you already are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Now you
show
can
myself.
go
back.
So
Example.
I want to get on my feet, and and I want to spread the word. I want to do what I can. I don't know what I can, but I want to do what I can.
Well, the intention, it starts with an intent,
Yes.
and the purpose builds around it. So I thank these two brothers for joining us and telling us their stories and sharing it with you. And thank you for watching. Please share it with people that you think may need this kind of motivation. And let's hope none of us ever has to be in this situation. But if we are, we're there. We're there for you, and you will be fine. Go save a life, live two, not one. For the Gola Foundation, I'm Anil with Sanket and Krish with Kidney Donor Stories. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you.